Aside from Asuka, what's one of your more or most favorite characters to be?
Oh, I find that question to be really hard. The favorite character
Oh,
question.
yeah. I would say besides was Cecily.
Yeah. I don't know. See, it's hard for me even to say, like, well, Asuka's definitely the favorite one. I don't know that that's true. It's just too hard for me to say a favorite one. Something I really like doing, though, is I love playing any kind of a little critter. If it's an alien, or a hamster, or a dog, or a cat, or whatever. I love playing little critters that just make funny sounds and things. That is awesome. I do enjoy playing that very much. And again, like I was saying earlier, it's like in voice acting, you can play all these kinds of parts you would never get to play in real life. So, I mean, I wouldn't get to, you know, play adorable aliens that kill people, like that was in Excel Saga, and I played a tank. Well, the tank was possessed with the spirit of a cat, so I played this cat spirit. But you know what I'm saying? It's like all of this stuff is so abstract. Who would ever get to do that? Who would even think of that? And yet it happened. But yeah, I love all that stuff. The critters are really awesome. I love critters. Yeah.
This question for both of you. Has there ever been a voice act, a performance that you've done, or a stage performance that you've done that's been the most challenging?
Oh, most challenging. Well, they're all a challenge. I would say continuing challenge. They never cease to be challenging. Sometimes, a lot of times I'll do a part and I reach the point where I'm comfortable and can be creative without going into the epic band of oh boy, gotta do another episode of this. Wow. Wow, here comes another episode, great. I would say Zed was challenging in that as the writing started turning to P, with Rita coming back and having it, that lovey-dovey stuff going on. It was a challenge to keep the character's integrity intact, which is his full meanness intact with such sappy lines. So that was a great challenge. I said I better do this. I had a feeling I better do this whenever I can. I'm going to keep my job. Because that was a successful action in the character. And so there were some episodes where I still hit those little bastards.
Yeah, that's, gosh, it is hard when you've been hired to do something and you really don't like the writing. That's really hard, but you can't do that much about it. I mean, sometimes, depending upon the project, you might be in a position to suggest something, but a lot of times that is not possible. You just have to read it. And I have, right now, when I get home tomorrow night, I have an audition that I'm doing for a radio commercial for a tanning salon. I think tanning salons are terrible, and that they give you skin cancer, but I've got to be like, come to Suntan Jan, or whatever the hell it's called, you know, where we have a special going for only $7.99. I do not know what the copy is for this stuff, but it's really bad, and I've got to read it like, I'm so friendly, and I love going to the tanning salon, and do I have any integrity? Almost none. Almost none, literally. But yeah, I don't know. I tell people, when I was a kid watching TV and I would see a commercial like for tampons or hemorrhoid cream or something like that, when I was like 10 or 11 years old, I think, I am never going to do those kinds of things because that is disgusting and it would be so embarrassing. embarrassing. If I was in that kind of, I would so do that right now. Do you know how much money that would pay? I would totally do it. I did this, I did an audition. I didn't get the job, but I did an audition a couple years ago. It was a commercial for some kind of product to alleviate vaginal dryness, and I was like, yes, I would love to be in a national radio spot speaking to everyone about my vaginal dryness. You know? My standards, I'm saying, they're just very low. I know, it's terrible. So challenging, I don't know. I did a show, an anime a few years ago called Ponyo Ponyo Digicarrot, where the voice that I did for this character was really high and it was really scratchy and it really hurt my throat. And after I started doing that character for like 20 minutes, I thought, why the hell am I doing this voice? But of course I wanted the job, so I kept doing it. But it was ridiculous because I had to have them schedule me in like 1.5 hour increments because I could not do it for longer than that at one time. And normally I'm good to go, like for 3-4 hours at a shot, no problem, but an hour and a half and I was totally done. And I was really glad when that show was over because I could not do that anymore. Oh, God, it wasn't that bad. It was like, I think it was like 26 episodes, but something like that. I don't remember. I've tried to put it out of my mind. I bought the toys for the character. I totally bought the toys, but yeah, Gemma. That one was hard. That was challenging, just physically challenging. There were some other ones that were emotionally challenging, but that one messed me up. So, you guys are awesome. Kaji, what's up?
How did you get picked for Lord Zed?
Oh, I want to know that.
I auditioned.
And he was the best one.
What is your absolute most favorite thing about Lord Zed?
His integrity. Integrity means wholeness. He was wholly mean. He was wholly wicked. And wholly out to get the Power Rangers. There's no question about it.
I kind of forgot. How was he defeated?
Well, it was a long process. The first process was Rita getting him the love potion, which weakened his character. And from there it was downhill. And finally, they got him and they gave him another potion or something. He zapped him and he turned into a human being.
Well, that's lousy.
And, he and Rita rolled off into the sunset, kind of like a convertible or something.
You had to be disappointed with that.
Yes.
I would have something cool, like thrown off a cliff or like, one of those like...
No, it was shot someplace. It was a real quickie job. We shot someplace in the desert in California. And you see the car, it's an aerial viewpoint, cameras up in the air and a helicopter, I guess. You see an aerial shot of Zed and Rita just driving away, waving, going goodbye, and driving off.
What was your
That sucks.
what is your favorite episode that you can remember? Like one that's like, yes!
Oh, God. I have so many episodes that were good. It's really hard to pick one out. It's really hard to remember one single episode. Who would ask that? I don't know. I like the episodes with Serpentera. Those were really strong. Because that was my Zord. And so I like those. So I was in command of that. So it was particularly good.
How would got some like weird questions now. Maybe you could answer me because I've always been thinking about it since my childhood. How did Rita get her staff back every time she threw it at her to make her monsters grow?
You have put way too much thought into that.
Movie guy.
Somehow she was all bold with it. Like,
That's a good question.
Finster would make her another one.
what?
Finster would make her another one.
Oh, ha! Wow.
That's a good idea.
So many years.
This is his job.
So many sleepless nights we spent thinking about that.
No, really, like,
It's a
everyone's
burning
like,
desire to know this.
also, because I mean, how can they breathe on the moon? And how come astronauts haven't found this on the moon?
Oh my.
They were in a cavern that, there was air on the moon, there was visible air on the moon. It was on the dark side of the moon. And we haven't discovered it yet.
Yeah.
It is there.
See, it's just like that.
On the dark side of the moon. And, it was there to tap into. It just hadn't discovered it.
Another question I had, there were so many, a few episodes, they were captured, brought up on tape, whatever. How in the world, why didn't the Power Rangers ever just go to the moon and just take care of the business there and then just go home? Instead they're,
Very. It was a TV show. None of these things actually happened.
Where did
They
you
weren't
go to the
really
bathroom?
on the moon.
You can keep your what-if scenarios to yourself.
Yeah,
Go
man,
to the bathroom in that bottle.
well, I like the answers he's giving me. They're like, oh,
They're original. I
Makes
would
sense.
have to say they make much more sense.
You have a question.
Mr. Axelrod,
Yes.
about your work at Akira, did you ever realize that you would be contributing to like one of the most recognized anime movie of all time? Did you at the time?
No, Akira was just another job. We were in jobs left and right, and over at Intersound would say, okay, we need you in Studio A. Oh, you're gonna be in Studio A, come over to Studio B in 15 minutes, I got a job for you. Come back to Studio A in a half an hour, I'll get some more. I mean, it was just running from show to show. It got to the point where I didn't even bother writing down the titles. Unless I had to keep track of what checks I was getting for what.
You didn't realize until afterwards, like how big the success it would be after, even
Right.
despite the checks.
Right. You don't want to do it. You have to want to do it. Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
But you don't know when you're working on it.
Right.
Especially, I mean, you're not seeing the whole thing either when you're working on it. You're just like seeing the parts that you're doing.
Yeah, but I mean, after you do it, you don't, like, after you see the reaction from fans all over the world, I mean,
Well, then that's pretty awesome.
yeah. I mean, the same could be said for you, for us. I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean,
Same thing.
we didn't know when we were working on Ava that it was gonna become some international phenomenon. I mean, you just don't know when you're working on these things, what they're going to become, how they're gonna be received, and what the longevity of the projects are. There's so many projects that I know that both of us have worked on that probably no one in this room has even heard of or seen.
Right, and we will see.
Right, and maybe for every 10 of those, or 20 of those, or whatever, there might be one thing that takes off. And you just don't know what that thing will be, but you're still going to do all the work. They weren't really on the moon, Barry.
I've done several movies, union movies, that I got paid union wages that just did not go anyplace. I did a picture called Dead Badge. Finally, I was able to get a copy from one of the video stores, online stores.
Did it ever get released at all? Yeah, well, I guess it got released. Oh, right, but it went to direct to video.
It went to video. I finally got a copy. And the movie had, it was Olympia Dukakis was in it. And a lot of stars was in it. And just didn't get any kind of release. So that happens too. I'm sure this happens in the cartoon world.
Oh, yeah.
We did 26 episodes of Journey to the Heart of the Earth, about pirates and adventures on the high seas. And, it's a good series. 26 episodes. We got that before we did.
Wow.
I never saw it back until they were going to work with video. Supposedly it did.